At the end of last episode, I teased that Scott McTominay had been unleashed and was quickly becoming our biggest goal threat. Klajic took that encroachment on his territory personally. Welcome back to Wolves, where things are going well. We are 2 games for the end of the season. We cannot be worse than 6th. Manchester City have all but sewn up the title already. But 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th, all to play for. Villa on 77, Arsenal having played their game on 76, Liverpool on 76, Man United and ourselves on 73. Goal differences fairly similar, apart from Arsenal's. So everything, apart from the title, everything is to play for. And because it is relevant, this, current season coefficients, England 18.125, Spain 18 flat. Real Madrid are in the Champions League final, Aston Villa are in the Conference League final. We're in a weird world where we need Aston Villa to win that to have a hope of Champions League football going to 5th. Because if they do get their coefficient point, then it's Champions League all the way down to 5th. Europa League goes to 6th and 7th. You may note there's no highlight on 7th. That's because Everton have already won the Carabao Cup somehow. So they have Conference League football next year off the back of that. And Chelsea are 9th. They're our opponents today. They're also in the FA Cup final. So they could also poach a European place off a Premier League finishing team. So it is vitally important we do as well as we can here. Like I say, we can't be worse than 6th, so I don't think there's a way that we don't get European football. Because I think 6th is Europa League football regardless at this point in time, because Chelsea just steal the 2nd of those places if they were to win that. Meanwhile, you may recall that I gave Pedro Neto a new contract last time out, and then noticed his statistics weren't that great. Yeah, this is his form page since signing that new contract. Goal, nothing, assist, goal, assist, 3 assists, 2 assists, 1 assist, 1 assist, 3 assists, nothing, goal. Frankly, he should have scored in the Liverpool game. It is nothing short of witchcraft, this turnaround. He had 3 assists when he signed that new contract. 15 now. 15 with 6 goals. What has happened? And unfortunately, to burst the bubble on Scott McTominay, after scoring a hat-trick against Brighton, he was injured in the subsequent game against Manchester City, and he's never been the same since. He hasn't missed a game, but he's never been the same since. And bizarrely, a similar thing happened with Klajic. After getting 5 against Everton, he was injured after that, missed the Arsenal game, and then hasn't been the same since either. But he is the top human goal scorer in the Premier League. Haaland could genuinely get 40 goals here. And speaking of Haaland, I do need to show you this because our best result, 3-1 at Manchester City. A Manchester City team that didn't include Haaland in the entire squad. For some reason, Pep took mercy on us because he wasn't injured. But at the point of playing us, they had played 3 games in 7 days and we were 3 days after that. So it was the 4th game in 10 days for them. And for some reason, this was the one he rested Haaland for, not the FA Cup quarterfinal, which they lost anyway. Also, they were knocked out of the Champions League by Sociedad, because of course they were. Also, recently 1-1 against Luton, and I don't see Haaland in that squad either. He is injured again. He was injured against West Ham, 6-12. Is he out for the season? Haaland's out for the season. He can't get 40 goals. He probably will somehow, though. You may remember how I lamented not including the other Arsenal game in the episode that basically immediately followed it. I regret this one even more. It was 4-0 at half-time, and we brought it back to 4-3. And as a Newcastle fan, I thought it was about to happen again, but apparently Arsenal have PTSD over that and decided that wasn't happening. So 5-3. Beat Bournemouth, beat Forest, clean sheets there, the most remarkable thing of all. Lost to Liverpool, we got FM'd somehow. And Man United, frankly, we should have scored more against, but Pedro Neto scored there, solved that one. Chelsea, Burnley, remain. Strawberry came back, Samaria immediately got injured again. But Bellegarde, having missed a game, is available again. Same with Fabio Silva, same with Mateus Cunha. We had a lot of people out last time round. Oh, and regarding the artist formerly known as Matt Doherty, just as a casual reminder, I do tend to record in advance, so sometimes it can take a little bit of a while for feedback to filter through. I did look this up after getting the comment. In England and Scotland, it seems, typically it would be pronounced Doherty still, even if it doesn't have a C in it. But in Ireland, they have shifted, even though this is where the surname originates from, and it does originate with a C in it, but at some point that got dropped. They do tend to pronounce it Doherty, which is impossible to do without doing an appalling Irish accent. So I might just have to call him Matt for this episode and then sell him in the summer. Because I cannot get through saying that name without putting on a terrible accent. Doherty. No. So Matt remains on the bench. I might just put Johnny on the bench to solve the problem, but he's returned to fitness still as well himself. But Sarr in goal, Aït-Nouri, Kilman, Ørstegård, Semedo, João Gomez, Bellegarde, McTominay, Dukanovic. I can put Cunha back in, Neto and Klajic. Yeah, worth noting actually, we did just beat Man United with a weakened team because of various coinciding problems. The Chelsea team confuses me because obviously they've got 9,000 people in their team, but they've decided to rotate. And not even just rotate. Nkunku, Sterling, Fernandes, Caicedo, Chilwell, Reece James and Robert Sanchez aren't even on the bench. Conor Gallagher is their coach today, which says everything about the strength of their team right now. Backup goalkeeper, Klusterman, who they don't even have real life, I don't think. I mean, I might be wrong. He might be one of the 40 squad members, but I've not seen him yet. But Eric Sanchez, I'm pretty certain they signed in January. What is going on? Why are they throwing? I mean, they'll probably win now, but there's genuinely 2 youth prospects on the bench. When I wonder if their FA Cup run has caused them a bit of fixture congestion, and they're just all absolutely knackered. As Cunha stands out for this, that's close. Although in fairness, I don't know how good Robert Sanchez is in FM this year. I know people haven't rated him in EFC this year, and I didn't particularly rate Sanchez. Big Badiashile scored at the back post. I'll tell you, I did rate Sanchez last year, but I know he got kind of shafted at Brighton last year in real life. Much as I appreciate Badiashile scoring a header from a set piece, because God knows I've tried that with him over the years, I am annoyed that it's his first goal of the year. Semedo, though, after recollecting from a throw-in there, Bellegarde, going to go round. That's lucky that it kind of ended up at Petrovic's feet. But don't get me wrong, they're probably going to score their only shot on target, such is our luck. Bill from the back, Østegård, Pedro Neto, back to Semedo, McTominay, Neto, Semedo. Being a little bit careful about this, but I'm not going to be against it just yet, unless they make a mistake. Jose Sar's out of his goal. Please don't make a mistake like you did against Liverpool. Basically that, essentially. Just underhit a pass and they popped it straight in the net. Which is why I was kind of glad they got a 91st minute second goal, because otherwise I would have been incredibly annoyed if that was what decided it. Semedo, Kalajdzic, that's Cunha running through, and that's the surprise of the shadow striker. Petrovic is committed. Cunha just couldn't get the ball back down in time. I mean, I'm not going to call Parma's Raumdeuter a mistake because he's on a 7.1, but wasn't expecting to see that. I mean, I called it, didn't I? We are losing. Hit the target, you morons, is basically what I've just said at half-time. Also, I really want to know why Kilman's average position is so much further back than anyone else. What is happening? I mean, I want to ask what is happening, but the answer is nothing. I know the answer to the question. That's what's happening. Of course, every time you hype up someone, they immediately put in a 6.4. It's ridiculous. I'll keep Kalajdzic on because he can just do something. Bellegarde's picked up a booking. We'll bring Melvin Bard on just so he's less annoyed at the lack of playing time at the end of the year when he comes to me about his target. He doesn't think I've given him enough playing time to reach 10 assists. He has featured in 27 games, I'm pretty certain, has literally no highlights. I tell a lie, there's 8 minutes of injury time, this is the 4th. As Badiashile takes all the time in the world just to pass it back to Cucurella. Oh, Modric's in. This is annoying. Have they scored their only 2 shots? They've scored their only 2 shots on target, haven't they? Coasting to victory now, says the text. Coasting. They're literally second best. Although admittedly, this XG might be quite high, so ironically that might actually put them ahead again on that front. No, it doesn't. I wonder if it's possible to get a goalkeeper in Football Manager that actually can make a save, because he has a 0% save rate here. I'm pretty certain it was the same against Liverpool. Someone said they were carrying an injury there. That might have been Cunha on the bench. As Liverpool win 5-0, Spurs win 5-0, but they're not in this picture. Did Man United play Aston Villa, or is it Brighton and Fulham? We get $1 million for that, though. Man United won as well. Great. Man City have sealed the title there. It is a little weird how we can go from 6 goals, 4 goals, 4 goals, 3 goals, 6 goals, 3-2, 3-2, nothing, 1-0. Like, suddenly, against these 3 high-quality teams, you would say, probably avoid calling them big teams right now because of Chelsea's positioning, but bizarre that we've just suddenly become completely incompetent in front of goal when it matters. Aston Villa beat Newcastle as well for good measure, so that secures them Champions League football then. Goal difference aside, Liverpool is safe, but we do require one of them to lose now. Why have Newcastle sacked Eddie Howe? Oh, I hate Football Manager for this. It's a little bit sad to know that this hasn't improved, because obviously a 7th place finish, bearing in mind that they had Champions League football at the beginning, would be more than acceptable for Newcastle. And it happens all the time, particularly when clubs get European football ahead of their time Football Manager standards. Newcastle kind of doing all right as things stand. But it happened when Wolves were in Europe that first couple of seasons, because they would always be like 60th, 70th and sack Nuno at that point. And it was the same with Leicester when they were in Europe. Somehow Football Manager is even more ruthless than the real world when it comes to sacking managers, which is no mean feat. This is interesting. I'm not sure it's been in previous games, but I just had Brighton declare interest in Kalajdzic. And now Leicester, who I presume have been promoted, otherwise I have no idea how they could afford this, have declared interest in Kilman. I don't remember AI teams declaring interest in your players before. You only had your players getting upset they couldn't enjoy them and then putting in their transfer request. I'll be intrigued to see if certain teams doing this would actually unsettle your players before they've even put a bid in. I'm sorry, Ross, you have no interest in leaving relegated Luton? He actually wouldn't be a bad player for us, quite frankly. Elmas is the other one on my radar. because he's been listed by Napoli. We could link him up with his former Napoli teammate in Østegård. I don't actually remember seeing anything about what Cunha's injury was, but he's fine. So we'll go unchanged into the next game because there's no reason to, really. Burnley has survived in 17th, as that throw-in gets given back out to Bellegarde. And they've nicked the ball, but we've nicked it back off them again. 8 Nouri, Kilman, forward to Bellegarde. Cunha, that's not good from Cunha. But we've nicked it back again. I mean, I appreciate Burnley to sort of slow things down enough for our players to go, we'll have that back, thank you very much. Østegård forward to McTominay. Might be actually able to do something for once recently. Neto tries once, Neto gets fouled. To be fair, that feels like the only way we're getting something at the moment is persistence. Because God knows we don't seem to be able to hit the target at the moment. Cunha should stand over this and he should take every penalty from here on in. Well, he won't take the next one because he's missed that one. So that instruction will come into play. Yeah. You know when the game just feels like it's going against you? That's what it feels like right now. Nobody there on that cutback either. This is what it felt like watching the Newcastle game in the week against Dortmund. Just hitting the crossbar every which way. What am I looking at? Pedro Neto charging forward again. McTominay. Get in the box, Scott. Bellegarde. They fouled us again. Somehow they managed to chop down Kalajic, who were on the floor, actually. This is concerning me that Kalajic is still down. Because if they properly injured him, I'm going to be a little annoyed. So Cunha won't take this one in theory because he missed the last one. What is happening? Pedro Neto puts the ball in the box. Kalajic is there. One of those rare times, actually, where somehow the 6'8" man actually gets on the end of it. We might need to bring in a proper corner taker next year, because I don't know if Cunha's actually that good, but he seems to be taking them all. João Gomez. Where are we going, João? There we go. Problem solved. Kilman. And that's the end of that highlight. Muric is on an 8.7. It's a good job we can't actually go backwards in the table at this point in time, because we would be. Cunha. Another corner. Kalajic under it. Doesn't jump for it. That's not going to help. Neto puts the ball back in. Kalajic just runs away from the goal, but gives it to Semedo. A confusing choice to go to Bellegarde. He just put it back in again. McTominay well over. That should have been a goal, says the text. I'm surprised he even knew what was happening. What an appalling half of football. Absolutely unacceptable from everyone. It's good to know that people who miss a penalty's average ratings do just decline for the rest of the game, and they appear to have no hope of pulling it out. I mean, he's offside. I'm pretty certain he's offside. He better be offside because, once again, 100% strike rate. He's not offside. I think I may have just been silent when the first time it happened, so he may not have actually caught this. No, he was on. Jose Sarr has a 0% save rate. He's on. Wait, oh, that's why I thought he was off, because it was someone on the other side of the pitch that played him on. Bellegarde. That would have been sensational. Honestly, can I get Olivier Giroud in goal? Because right now he'd be better than Jose Sarr. I don't understand what happened to Jose Sarr. I know in real life, Kalajic has scored. I pepped him up before the game and said, come on, I have faith in you, lad. I know you can score. There we go. 1-1. We finally put the ball in the net again. But Cunha's going to have to come off because he's done... It's like they just evaporate after missing a penalty as a player. But Muric is going to start this again. And I don't really have time to make the substitution just yet. João Gomez claws it out of the air and gets it to a teammate. Actually, good work from him. In years gone by, that would have just been completely aimless and probably gone back to them. McTominay on the end of this are both the players that have... Yes! Both the players that have kind of disappeared in recent weeks coming back again and showing you, the viewers, what they're all about. It's all well and good them putting in hat-tricks and 5-goal hauls when I'm just playing through by myself, but you need to see their excellence. And Scott McTominay admittedly started that last time round, even if it was somewhat cut short by something wrong with the recording, but Kalajic again. Wait, why is that an assist for Cunha? Does this not come off Kalajic? Yeah, Kalajic definitely heads that. Why has that gone down as the Cunha? I mean, I'm going to turn it down really because he needs the average rating boost. Oh, no, Kalajic has got the assist on here. For some reason on the pop-up it said Cunha. Right, Djukanovic on though. Neto's been booked, bless him. Mariba. Go on, Matt. Have some minutes. Probably ought to give Melvin some time as well. I mean, our players are on top of each other. I don't know what happened, but Scott's got the ball out to Januzaj, who has sort of been demoted by Pedro Neto's re-emergence as a right-sided player. Sorry, has their player just smashed that into the... It's taken me a second to register what's just happened there, because I assumed it was Kalajic. Like, I saw the bit before, and I saw the result, and my brain just filled in the gap as Kalajic putting that in the net. But is it... No, Kalajic has just scored there. But for some reason, that's just popped up as an own goal, even though he's done literally nothing to deflect the ball. This appears to be a problem. Shots that are off target but diverted into the net appear to be going down as the person who took the shot, and shots that were already on target that are being diverted are going down as own goals. Like the own goal, not own goal decision-making appears to be completely the opposite to what it should be. Sorry, look at their pass map. They do not have an average position in our half, and yet they were 1-0 up. Glad we sorted it out, though. Muric has conceded 4 goals there, come away with an 8.3. Sarr has a 0% save rate and has come away with a 6.9. I've just told the lads that's about as good as a win as you're likely ever going to see. We missed 2 penalties. Sadly, I didn't really show anyone else around the grounds. They all won. Apart from Haaland, who did actually re-emerge on the final day, but only got 1 goal. But Sheffield and Luton have been down for ages. I think they survived being the worst team ever. And Bournemouth have also been down for a little bit as well. Actually, Bournemouth have got some competent players that might be worth picking up as squad players. 29 million, basically. Villa, Liverpool and Arsenal all guarantee Champions League football. Man United probably, depending on how things pan out. And we just have to wait for basically everything to resolve before we find out exactly what competition we're in. 2.5 million paid out. Oh, that reminds me. You remember how, if you've been a long-term viewer of this, in the lead save that basically everyone had like 200 grand, whatever, bonuses for not being relegated? Same here. There must have been at least 2 million in fees for avoiding relegation. Particularly galling is the fact that's Jose Sarr's one, who has done the utmost to try and see us be as bad as possible. How many clean sheets did he end up with? 8, somehow. Klajic reportedly wants to join a big club and Chelsea would allow him to do that. Well, if they don't win the FA Cup, they don't have European football, Sasha, which is what I'm assuming that's pronounced as. Well, it was a valiant effort from Sasha in the end. 20 goals to Haaland's 39. Annoyed that he hasn't played often enough. I told him to get 10 assists. He started 14 games and been subbed on in 14 more. They played 4 cup games as well to boot. So 18 starts, 14 sub appearances, 1 assist. Don't get me wrong. If he was on like 9, he'd have a valid excuse. But he's on 1. Also, Dukanovic, I gave average trading rating of 8. He's been above that every single time we've checked in on him. He appears to have failed it at the final hurdle, which, oh, what a shame, Victor. 1.9 million wages. 49 million is more as I was expecting for a club that's 50 million in debt. Oh, 25 now. Yeah, it's about another 100 grand a week, but we should shift some people on big wages. Right, our end of season. Scott McTominay. Signing of the season. No questions. Østigard, actually, 7.01, second best. The 2 January signings coming in and performing. Januzaj not awful, but Neto did steal his thunder in the second half of that season. Cunha definitely not worth the 43 million, but not much I could do about that. That was already a thing. Same with Traore, 9.5. Get out of this club. Bellegarde, absolutely not worth 13 million either. At the very least, in the systems in the second half, kind of came a bit more alive. I mean, bar for 9 million has been disappointing. B+. It says qualified for the Europa League, but we still haven't had that confirmation yet. How the hell is the match to remember not 3-1 against Manchester City? Our best team, Sarr in goal, because he's literally the only, and I can't believe I'm saying this, competent goalkeeper we have. Aït-Nouri, Dawson, Kilman, Østigard not here long enough to make an impact. Semedo right back, Norris by João Gomez, the surprising actually linchpin in all this. 35 starts, Bellegarde and McTominay, having only played half a season, straight in. Cunha, Neto, Klajic up front. Unsurprised. We did get 1 manager of the month, and obviously all the records being changed. It's a little weird that youngest and oldest goal scorer is a thing. I swear they used to carry over and weren't one of the records that got wiped when you start a save. High-profile players can be hard to sign in quick succession, but I got 2 of them, McTominay and Østigard, for a grand total of 23 million, and they immediately did things. This one's interesting, even if it is a 1-0 victory over Palace, being remembered. Apologies if my nose is getting redder as this episode continues, but I am getting increasingly ill as well. Of course, it decides to strike in full earnest now. Always accept the vision. What do we want? Top half? I'll tell the team that. A little bit of early transfer news. Basically, literally the only person that didn't already have a transfer arranged and was competent and wanted to join us. Fulfills the Portuguese objectives if we had any. A good squad player for midfield next year, an improvement on Bellegarde anyway. Considering he's free, he's also 26. Of course he has, because Traore is terrible. And yeah, I may be eyeing Karnasechi again. He appears to have started in an even better place this time round in FM24 than he did in FM23, so don't even have to develop him as much. Oh, he's only conceded 36 in 34 at Atalanta. Hello, Marco. Hello, sir. Jose, be worried. Of course Chelsea win the FA Cup. Right now we don't have any European football because of the coefficient. Well, that's good news, even if we didn't get a specific drop down for it. Aston Villa did win the Conference League, so now it's up to PSG to beat Real Madrid, I think. Yes, that gives us a 0.5 margin. I think if Spain/Real Madrid win that, then we're done for. I can't believe our hosts of Europe rest on Aston Villa, of all people, because I presume they still get coefficient even for losing. I just don't know if they get enough. So it's crucial that Aston Villa won that. I've just seen it on the left-hand side. PSG have won the Champions League. Mbappe gets player of the season, presumably for that. Which means, yes! Thank you, Aston Villa. Thank you, Paris Saint-Germain. We should have had it anyway, but 2 people won things from outside of the places. I can't believe that. So Man United get Champions League football. They're thanking both Aston Villa and PSG as well. So we join Chelsea in the Europa League next year. Newcastle is 7th. Feel utterly mugged off right now. Oh, we did it. Pedro Neto still ended up actually with the joint highest assist as well. As for our squad, it should be no surprise. Kalajdzic, Cunha, Januzaj actually third highest goal scorer. McTominay pips Pedro Neto at the post on that front. And yeah, Pedro Neto, Marsden. Craig Dawson had 7 assists, presumably from corners, predominantly. Matt second, surprisingly. More than Semedo, who obviously played predominantly in that position. So, but yeah, he's also 32 and declining now. So off your pop, Matt. Why is he contracted till 2026? He'll be 34 by then and probably can't move. Well, there we are. One last look at the table just so you can soak all your eyes in, see if you can see something I haven't. But that's it from season number 1 here at Wolverhampton Wanderers. We'll be back in the Europa League next time round, which is probably quite a good competition for us to be in terms of levels. We might be able to rotate a little bit in certain of those cup games, fingers crossed, depending on how we recruit over the summer. With £50 million to spend there or thereabouts, and hopefully a big trimming of the wage budget, with probably a few big people on high wages going, we might be able to facilitate a progression in the squad. Certainly enough to get us rotation that we crucially need for this. But if you enjoyed this season, like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal by now. Until next time, ta-ra.